Okay, Grassy, Noel. We are here talking with you now this moment. We want to talk basically a little bit about what life is going on here in England. And we were talking before about the Battalion San Patricio. Really shocked me because it's really nice to meeting you, like Irishman, and knowing about this happening, what happened in Mexico before, right? Like more than a century ago. So I would like to see, talking to you about the perception that you probably you can talk to us about how you saw that event.
Yeah.
You know, the Battalion
Well,
San
I find
Patricio.
it very disgusting and very wrong that the United States of America under Donald Trump decided to build a wall. Like, it actually goes through what used to be Mexican soil. The Americas belongs to the peoples of the Americas, the peoples of Abiyala, peoples of the Americas. Before Americo Vespucci imposed his name, before the colonizers arrived there was people living there for 40,000 years, and these were known as natives of this soil. They had an appreciation of the soil, they had an appreciation of the animals, they were able to live in harmony with their environment. They knew that everything that they ate was coming from the earth. Everything came because of the power of the sun. Everything came because of the buffalo. All of their clothing came from natural goods. It came from the hides of the buffalo. Their trades, they came sometimes from the buffalo also, and their needles came from the bone. Everything was celebrated, and to kill a buffalo, they knew they had to respect the life of the buffalo. They respected all of the life. The birds were sacred, animals were sacred, the soil was sacred, the rivers were clean, the rivers were also sacred. The mountains and the trees were sacred. The mountains had language, the trees had language, and the birds had language. And they understood the language and they passed on the language. But it wasn't just the Native Americans, it was the ancient world. In the ancient world of Ireland, in the Celtic world, and all over the Normans, and all over if you go back to the Viking world and the ancient world, all of the shaman from Siberia, the shaman from China, the shaman from Russia, all had the same philosophy. It was the philosophy of where we come from. We all are part of the soil, we all are part of nature, we all celebrate nature. It's the need to celebrate the existence of nature. Under the sun, under the rains, under the skies. There's only one sky, there's only one moon, there's only one sun in this universe, but there's many, many universes. Even this morning I was reading a beautiful story about the natives of America, believing that there was people from the moon, there was people from the sun, there's people from the stars. These people live underneath the earth. They come up at night time because their skin cannot take the sun in the daytime, and they harvest and they plant in the night time. And they were known as the moon people, and they were known as the people of the stars, and they had their own philosophy too. And this is the way people have always lived, in celebration of this little ball of blue that we're floating around in space. We are all aliens. We should not alienate each other from each other, because we are floating in space. Thank you very much.
Really beautiful. It's really beautiful what you're talking about. No, really nice because basically it's the thing that probably we've been losing with this modernity, with this capitalism who came to destroy everything. And now you're talking about it, and it's really nice to listen to you because basically you basically say about what humanity could be. You know, there is no differences between race or nationality. Basically, the philosophy that you're talking about is universal philosophy, right? Like the ancient natives people or Celtic people were practicing before. So now it's like really critical because, for example, now was the protest here fighting against the governments, against the policies that they are doing against the earth, against the nature, against the universe at the end, against the humanity. So, for example, now you've been telling me about a little bit about nice girl, so lovely. About a little bit politics, right? The politics of some countries they were doing before and they still continue doing it now. In that time, for example, we're talking about in Mexico, how lost the part of their country of Mexican people taken by American government, and now seems to be kind of similar, like this reproducing this criminality against the nature, against the people.
Well, if you look what's happening between the United States and Mexico, building a wall, right? At the moment, we were too busy building walls. We're building walls all over the place. Now, with Brexit, they want to build another border in Ireland, another wall. We've had walls all over the place. You look at Turkey, they're building a big wall around Turkey. They're building a big wall, they're trying to create before, like Fortress Europe, stop foreigners getting in. The reason why people have to leave their countries, a lot of people in Syria have had to leave, a lot of people from Libya are trying to leave, a lot of people from Iraq have had to leave, a lot of people from Afghanistan have had to leave, a lot of people from Yemen today are leaving because this country, this week and last week, have been selling arms to the big dictators of the world. They don't care who to sell their arms to. They're selling arms to very, very corrupt regimes at enormous profit. So you got British aerospace, you got in America Lockheed Martin and all them, just out in the East End at the moment. If I was to go out there and sell a gun to the person in the street, I would be arrested. These people get promotion if they sell billions of pounds worth of arms to Saudi Arabia to suppress the people of Yemen who are starving to death as we speak from famine. Now, if you look at the whole of the world, at this moment in time, there's no such thing as actually a border per se. A border is a man-made construct. So you look at the moon, you look at the planet from outer space, you would have only seen maybe the Great Wall of China, but that is a superimposed border. The world is one. It's just one tiny little ball. All of us running around with this tiny little ball. We are infinitesimal. We are nothing. Because the planet has been here for 4.5 billion years, and presumably it will be here for another 4.5 billion years to come. Unfortunately, since the Industrial Revolution, we have wiped out over 50% of the planet, of the various different animals on the planet. And that is a big, big problem. Now you look at what's happening in the Pacific Ocean, what's happening in the oceans of the world. After Fukushima, it became one of the most radioactive seas in the world. But look at the big islands of plastic that are floating around in the vortex in the middle of the ocean, 3 times the size of Texas. And this can actually and must be rectified because we're actually poisoning all the fish life. There's more microscopic pieces of plastic in the oceans than there is this moment in time. What do the fish need to survive?
I think we're condemned to that.
The fish need plankton because it's the bottom of the feed chain. Everything goes up from that, but we've destroyed all of the plankton. We're not condemned to that at the moment if we change, and there's possibilities. There's always possibilities to change, but we have to stop the rainforest fires. We have to start realising that indigenous peoples, they've lived there 30,000-40,000 years. They know there's lots of medicines in those trees. They've got a great respect for the trees. They've got great respect for the Amazon. The Amazonian basin, the ancient shamans got all of their knowledge passed on from one tribe to the other tribe to the other tribe. And they got great respect for the shamans right through the whole of the different tribes. Because back in the ancient world, in the Celtic world, we also had a great respect for trees, for example. All of our alphabet was built around trees. With the Ogham alphabet, the first tree was the birch tree. The birch tree symbolised the beginning of life. The last tree in the Ogham alphabet was the...
Oh, thank you. So beautiful.
The last tree in the Ogham alphabet was the yew tree. The yew tree is always planted in cemeteries because the yew tree symbolised death. But not only did the yew tree symbolise death, it also symbolised rebirth. Because the yew tree dies in the centre, but is born again in the outside, so it represents reincarnation. And it's the oldest living tree on these islands. This actual tree can live to be 6,000, 8,000 years old. A lot longer than this building here. It was actually some kind of neoclassical building. It was built by somebody who designed psychiatric hospitals at the time, in the middle of the 1850s. So we're making the money. This building and many of the other buildings you see around London was built in the back of slavery. A lot of money was coming into England from the back of plantations and from the back of slavery. If you look at all of these buildings, most of the buildings, neoclassical buildings in London, then you go to the museum, the British Museum, and you study what's in the British Museum. Everything is stolen from other parts of the world to be put into the British Museum. So therefore, most of the wealth of this country has been stolen from other countries. And the language has been stolen from other countries as well. And their language has been superimposed in many, many, many countries. Their language, English, has been forced upon people. Then people wonder why they speak English and why they come here. It was because most of the trading was done from there. And a lot of the goods was stolen and taken to there. So the labour force, because they were deprived of work in their countries, had to come here because their economies had been destroyed.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. I think you have a whole perspective of what's happening, and it's really interesting talking to you because you were telling me before that you are an artist and you were in concerts, knowing people, music, etc. And really surprised me, and it's really grateful to listen to you because you giving me like things to think about it. I didn't know about all these things, and really appreciate it, mate. So I think that is really nice, mate. Thank you for
very much.
talking to you, mate.
Great.
Really appreciate
Have a
it.
great time here in London.
Thank you,
London
mate.
is a fantastic city, and no matter time, many times it'll burn beneath our feet.